Hello, everybody. We'll start in 1 minute. In case you didn't hear already, a chair with a sticky mat on it, and then have nearby a block, a strap, and possibly a soft block foam brick if you have it. If not, just another blanket. Today I was asked to explain this. So today's the 29th. So it's an odd day. It's just something a teacher of mine up north used to do so that we all get into habits. And I notice when I'm just sitting on the floor casually, which I do a lot when we have our whole family over in our house, we really don't have in our living room enough chairs to fit everybody in our family. So I'm always on the floor. But I notice even casually, I always bring my right leg in first. So this being an odd day, June 29th, you'll cross with your least favorite crossing in first. And then rock from side to side and really move that buttock flesh out. However, as Anne discussed in her class that she subbed for me last Monday, this inner thigh should roll out, right? So I'm taking my hands here like a C shape and getting that inner thigh to slightly roll down out, and so that the groins are soft. Okay, if you feel any work, that's probably a good word for it. The work would be in the muscles of the thigh pull back towards the hip socket, and this hip socket area is still firm and pulled in. It's not, you're not just splaying the buttock flesh flat out onto the floor, but this pulling back to the hip sockets. So then use your hands, because I'm pretty tall and have longer arms, I'm going to go underneath one of my blankets and put my hands turned out 90 degrees, roll the shoulders back and lift. So this stays down, right? And in Anne's class last week, you did a lot of that, a lot of poses that really helped. So in your mind's eye, you keep this down and the groin soft and lift using your arms, and also that outer hip socket being strong. You lift up the side body, roll the shoulders back, lift your sternum up, broaden the collarbones out to the sides. Now, can you keep that? Keep the ribs back, so make sure that the ribs aren't pitching forward. Abdomen soft. Bring your hands to your heart. Remove your glasses if you have them. Your bottom knuckle of your thumb should be at the bottom of your sternal notch. And that forearm bone rests right there below that area. Look straight ahead. And then close your eyes completely. As you close your eyes, let any expression drain completely from your face. Relax all the muscles from the face. Keep the lift in the spine. Keep the shoulders soft and rolling back, the trapezium down the back. Swallow 1 or 2 times and let the throat remain quiet. And then just join me in the 3 ohms. This is the inhalation. Relift that sternum. Bow your head towards your heart. Release your hands. And then slowly lift your head and open your eyes. Just stretch your legs out in front for a moment. Slide a little bit forward. Just a little Dandasana there to get the backs of the knees ironed out. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is a chair Pavana Muktasana. It's also used as a prep for Kurmasana. We're not doing Kurmasana today. Oh, I'll just say real quick, today's class is going to be mostly about twists to get the extension of the side body so that we can do some restorative and pranayama at the end of class. Hopefully we'll have time for that. So I'll show you from the side. I'll bring the chair to the mat. The first one, you're not using, you can use any block for this first version. So notice I'm not sitting all the way back in the chair, and I'm not sitting all the way forward in the chair. I'm sitting about midway. But if you'll notice, my knees are further forward than my heels. I'm not like this. So I've got the heels right at the chair legs, front of the chair legs, okay? So I'm gonna take each thigh and roll it in, okay? And I wanna feel that once again, I'm making that, thigh to buttock connection into this hip socket area. So now I start to go forward and I hold on to my brick. I keep the buttocks back as much as possible. Scoot back just a little bit, adjust that. I go forward and I just take that block forward. Keep your ears right in line with your arms. You can look forward to the block. Keep the feet pointing straight ahead. Keep the groin soft and go forward. You can let the head go. Stay in the pose and maximum extension while the buttocks stay down. Buttocks stay down. And if your buttocks aren't staying down, here's what you do. Take your hands off the brick and push with your hands to keep that buttock area down. Then keep it back. Excuse me. Go forward. So that'll help you release the groins. Okay, inhale and come up. I have a tickle in my throat. Excuse me. Now, do on purpose go back so that your buttocks are mostly back in the chair. And now my knee and my ankle line up. Okay. So now, once again, I take those thighs and roll the fronts of the thighs in to spread the backs of the thighs nice and wide. I feel still this connection of this thigh pulling back to the buttock. I slowly start to come forward, and you've already done this. If you need the brick, use it. You've already done this. So I get maximum extension, looking forward, taking the side body, the anterior spine, the sternal notch forward. Okay, then if this is all you can do, this is stage one, you stay there. If you can do more, then you reach back to the chair legs, the crossbar or the side bar. And I find I have a little shelf there for my chest to just reach up beyond that. So it hits me at my, just below my chest on those ribs. Keep pinning those outer hips in. If you don't have a chair that that has a bar of any sort, then you're just reaching back. Mike, did you try looking forward? Look forward more. Yeah, and try to move the, yeah. Look, take your hands forward once again. Let me see that part. Yeah, move those shoulder blades in. Imagine the front, the anterior spine, front of the spine moving forward, and that's why the shoulder blades move in. Good. Okay. Inhale and come up. So now you'll take your chair. Oh, I guess that'll be your mirror image. And you'll sit side saddle to it. So your chair is on, so this is your right side. Sit a little bit forward in the seat. I guess my buttocks are kind of in the middle of the seat where I guess not even half of my thigh is on the chair seat. Okay, then I've got the brick and I'm putting it between the knees and I'm squeezing that brick. You can help yourself. Once again, take your thighs, roll the fronts of the thighs in, spread the backs of the thighs out, pull that outer thigh back towards the hip socket. Let's do the Urdhva Hastasana arms. So slowly take your arms here, turn the upper arms out, and now reach up. Okay, now turn towards your right and place the hands on the chair bar. Keep your head in the center of your chest. Now one hand will push, one hand will pull. I think it will be your right hand that will pull and your left hand that will push. And don't let your hips move. So we're taking all these measures because in a lot of the twists, if the hips move, it ends up being a turn, right? Instead of a twist. So we want that twisting action to kind of wring out all those intestines and internal organs. So it's that pushing with the right hand and kind of a pulling with the left hand. Okay, and you can see what has happened. Usually there's a tendency for it'll be your left leg that'll want to move forward, squeeze the brick, and don't let the left thigh go anywhere. In fact, pull it back towards the hip socket. Pull it. See, you see this action? I'm kind of pulling it back towards the hip. All right, you don't have to change your chair unless you can't see the camera. So I'm just turning it so that I can still be facing you guys. Second side, chair bar Vajrasana. Sit straight. See that your groins are soft right now. They shouldn't be hard. Okay, reach the arms up, turn the palms out, go up, reach up, elongate both sides of the trunk. Okay, and then turn. Push with your left hand, pull with your right hand, and twist that spine. Turn, well, there is, you could say you're turning the whole back body, but you're not turning your hips. Pull the thigh that's closest to the chair. So that should be your left thigh. Pull it slightly forward and the right thigh slightly back. That feels so good. I don't know about you guys. Oh, I don't think a 6.5-hour car ride does anybody any good. Okay. Second way of chair bar Vajrasana. So hopefully, I forgot to say this. You know what? If you do not have a way to use the wall, it's a real pain in the butt. You can't do it. You can't see your camera, whatever. Just repeat what we just did. If you have the ability to use the wall, you will turn your chair. And if you don't have a chair that has a back through, you'll just sit sideways on it. Sit through your chair. Place your brick, or remember I said if you didn't have a soft brick, you could use a blanket, or actually, you know, another sticky mat. But let's just say it's a blanket. So here's your options. If you don't have a soft brick, it's my toes have to be a little bit at the wall, or I could make this a little thicker. That might work. Yeah. So that's option one. Option two, if you have the brick, putting that right across the patella so it's even to your thighs. Roll the tops of the thighs in, spread the backs of the thighs out, pull yourself up nice and straight. Watch these ribs. If you know your habits and you know who you are, you know it's not this, but keep the ribs back, abdomen pulled back, nice, it's soft, it's not hard. Okay, now you'll turn to your right. I'll turn to so that you guys can see. So you're reaching the arms up and turning. Now what's nice is you've got this chair edge and you've got something to tell you big time if you're turning from your hips or are you turning from your torso. So pull your left thigh, you know, the bone of the kneecap slightly forward, keep your hips compact, and now turn. For those of you, and I include myself in this, you know, now that we've done a couple twists already, it's getting easier and easier, but you don't have to turn your head more than the chest. But if you do the work in the chest, then the head comes easily. The head and the neck do come easier. Okay, this brick or the blanket there keeps you honest. So you're not just turning, you're twisting, bringing out those toxins. Starting at the apana vayu, which is the vayus or the areas of the body where the prana flows, and it's the lowest one, and that's responsible for all our elimination, digestion system, etc. Second side. Okay, sit straight, look at the wall, inhale, reach both arms up, reach up, and then turn. If you're turning to your left now, that left knee will want to move away from the wall. Don't allow it. And then come have a peek. Okay, turn your back body. Use your arms strongly to help you turn. And you can feel if the knees have changed from the blanket or the brick. Don't allow the knees to change. Compact the hips and turn. Good. Okay. All right. Okay, release from that. Come up, come out of your chair and just put your chair facing the screen like that. Depending on if you have a Mexican blanket or the smaller, thinner blankets, you may not need that much of height, but you want just a little bit of height. So see how I've got the height towards the back of the chair? I'll show you from the side. Okay, so the height is towards the back of the chair, and this much of the chair doesn't have a blanket on. Okay. So this is Parshva Sukhasana, or Swastikasana, sometimes called it. Sukhasana, easy pose, easily seated pose. So what I say, let's cross the left leg in first. So you're crossing the leg up on the chair with half of your foot on the chair, half of the foot not on the chair. So it's the half of the foot is kind of off the chair and half is on, and then the right leg comes in. You will be uneven. Okay, so I'm up on a little bit of height. I'm keeping the foot sharp on its edge. I'm not letting the foot open out to the ceiling. So then I do what we did, what you guys did last week with Anne, make sure this groin area is soft and open. This outer thigh's pulling back to the hip socket. Okay, now we're turning. So what's nice about the chair is that you have something to grab onto back here no matter where you are. So you're turning to the right. So we'll reach both arms up. So get lots of length. And now turn. So bring the hand just above the kneecap with the front elbow bent. And the back arm is somewhere, I've got mine probably about the middle of the chair back. And now I look down and I happen to notice, wow, the side I'm turning away from is lower. So I have to fix that. And it would be your left side. It has to lift up more and turn. Parshva Sukhasana. Now the head, same thing, head and neck. You don't have to turn it more than your chest is turning. But if you turn the chest, the head just goes along for the ride. Head and the neck. Are you breathing? I'm getting lots of pop, pop, pops. Lift up and turn. On the inhalation, extension. On the exhalation, expansion. All right, and then come back to the front. We'll do both ways with each crossing. So stay with this crossing. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, turn. So remember the pushing and the pulling in chair Bharadvajasana. We can do this a little bit as well. So you kind of push down with the front hand that's on that front thigh, and the back hand is kind of pulling forward with the chair bar so that I can turn the back body more. And I lift up, look down, you can see if what side you're turning away from is lower. Lift it up and turn. And release. Just stretch your legs out momentarily. And we'll switch crosses. So this will be your favorite crossing. Mine is to cross my right leg in. So be comfortable. What does the chair give you that sitting on the floor doesn't? I don't know if have you figured it out yet, but the extra height just helps you lift up more. And you've really got something to push and pull on with that back chair arm. All right, inhale, reach the arms up. Feel this outer thigh connection, outer thigh to hip socket. Firm in those hip sockets. You can even push down on that chair edge. And then exhale and turn to your right. Pushing and pulling. That back arm, back hand kind of pulls that chair bar forward. Mine would, in this case, towards the wall. without lifting this knee up. So there's no way you can turn from your hips because this is blocked. Check in with your groins, see that they're staying soft, and turn. You are welcome to turn your head and neck as much as you feel comfortable doing so. More important to get that extension upward, lift upward, and expansion sideways. All right, and then back to the front. Lift up and turn. Parshvasukasana. Push on that front thigh. Pull on that back chair arm and turn. Look down. See if that right side is lower and lift it up. Really good for your hips. All right, and then back to face forward. All right, now I'm gonna turn sideways. You guys are fine as long as you can see the camera. So this works pretty well, this setup. I'm gonna have my buttocks here on the blanket, and go up a little bit more. So I've scooted that blanket up because we're doing Marichiyasana 3. One more twist. So you have to figure out where that height can be, because you'll bring your right leg up and the right heel is going to be, can you see it? It's on the chair, but not on the blanket. Right heel comes up, not on the blanket. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. So you might ask, okay, what does the chair do here? Well, how can it help me more than seated? I hope you can figure that out once we do it. Okay, so I'm holding, kind of clasping, or just one hand on top of the other, either way. Lift up, okay, and I keep on taking that. And now I'll turn, and the first time we do it, I'll just wrap and turn. And what's nice is I've got that back chair bar. And I can hold it, I can push on it, do all sorts of manner of things to turn that back body and to lift the front body up. Your left leg has to remain active and pull up that outer side to the hip side. Stage 1. With your left hand, can you pull that right knee slightly forward more to uncover this Apana Vayu, that lowest part of the channel of our breath, to get more opening across that area. Oh, that feels really good. I don't know about you guys. Okay, second side. Extend the left right leg and bring the left leg up. Sit up nice and tall. Have as much contact with your trunk and that leg as possible. And as needed, you can move the leg out to the side. All right, so I'm up. I reach up, and then I turn and just cradle that front leg, pull it slightly forward, take that arm back, and lift up. Seated Marichiyasana 3. Then you can see, is your left side or right side, it'll be your right side this time, is it lower? So you have to lift it up more and turn. Try it another. If that was hard, just repeat that, please. Okay, second way of doing it. So I repeat everything that I just did. And now this time, I try to get the arm as close as possible to this armpit on the outside of that knee. And then I have this chair bar to pull on, to push on, to help me lift up. Look at that left side of your chest and lift it and move the left shoulder blades deeper into your back. I'm gonna have a look. How you guys are doing? Mike, you can always go back to stage one if you need to. Yeah, keep extend. Oh, those people that are a little shorter than me, which is 5'7", you can put a block down for your standing leg foot. And if you don't like the way that feels, you could put a little blanket on top of it. But you do have to pull up that kneecap to the hip socket, especially that outer thigh. Okay, Mike, I like that better, but just think about your back body. Move the shoulder blades in. Yeah, lift your sternal notch. Lift up. Lift your sternum. Up, up, up. There you go. Can you get your head back just a little bit? Good. Okay, second time from Rechasana 3 with trying to get the arm on the outside. You're bringing your left leg up. Sit up nice and tall. Reach up. Turn. You can use that front elbow to kind of push that thigh slightly forward. Yeah, if it's too hard, Mike, just cradle it. Turn that Apana Vayu. I don't know if you caught what I was saying, but I was naming one of the lowest Vayu, you know, the breath channels. And I want you to keep that Apana Vayu broad and open. Don't let your foot turn out, Mike. That foot that's on the chair, don't let it turn out. It can go over to the side a little bit, but don't let it turn out. Okay. Whoa. 79. All right, you think you've done all the twisting you can do? Let's try one more. I think it's actually pretty easy. So now just take your blanket off your chair. Sit midway on your chair. Oh, and yeah, for this first version, some of you, you'll be fine for this first version. I'll tell you for the second version. So I'm sitting with the feet just maybe a little less than hip distance apart. And so it's Pashasana. So you'll turn to your right. I'll be turning to my left to show you. But the first way, I'm just bringing the elbow outside the knee. And I'm going to reach that back top chair bar. So from the get-go, I want to turn. So a little chair Bardhajasana to help you turn. Then I'm sliding that elbow outside the knee. And I turn. So your left thigh is still pulling back towards the hip socket. And use the chair bar to help you turn. Move the shoulder blades deeper into your back. Lift your sternum. Lift it up towards your chin. I think most of you have heard me say this many times. My teacher up north, she says, be snooty in your twist. So be snooty. That feels pretty good? Yeah. All right, release, sit straight, just chair tadasana in between. Shoulders back, trapezium down. Okay, twist from the get-go. Chair Bardhajasana. Slide that left elbow to the knee. Bend the elbow. Turn. Keep pushing the elbow into the knee to turn more, but don't let that knee you're pushing into go forward. So now, Mike, that's good enough turning. Now go forward with the front of your spine. Forward, like you're shooting your sternal notch. Forward. Yeah. Really push that elbow into the knee. Knee against the elbow. Head back. So Julia, try not to let your, so now I just look, it looked to me like you're turning a lot, not twisting so much because your right thigh has come forward. Don't let, yes, there you go. Yes, much better. Okay. All right, and now come back up. Second way. Now, if that was difficult, you're staying right there. If it was easy, you're trying the second version. So I'm sorry, I forgot to say the name of this pose, Pashasana. It's a noose pose. And it's really meant to be done on the floor. And you reach around and grab your hands. So now my feet are in the same place they were. I'll repeat everything I just did. Lost you. When I start to go forward, I kind of lose some of the chair. So you might want to adjust to sit back a little bit more on the chair so you don't lose the ability to reach that chair bar. So I just adjusted just a little bit. Feet just a little less than hip distance apart. I turn, I reach. So I guess if I'm showing a general correction for everybody, I'm seeing a little bit of this, okay? And what I want is a little bit of this. All right, so if you're collapsing and you feel the back body, you know, coming out, you have to move the back body, the spine, the shoulder blades into your back, into yourself. Guruji said once a very long time ago, or I read it in one of his Astadala Yoga Mala books, sometimes we have to close something in order to make something open. So here we're kind of closing the back body to open the front body. So now I'm going down, I'm going out, and I'm extending the trunk forward, and I'm reaching the bottom chair bar. I'm staying a hold with this back arm, your left, on the chair bar to help me turn more. And I try not to let your left thigh roll forward. Keep it back. It wants to roll forward. Keep it back. And you can be snooty once again. All right, and release. Second side. Twist. Elbow to outside of knee. Turn some more. Go lower and extend the trunk forward. Now on this side, maybe you can see my back body. Now I want to move my back body in, my shoulder blades in, and reach to that bottom chair bar. And turn more without letting your left thigh fly forward. Keep the left thigh back and turn your trunk. Turn your chest. Be snooty. Stay in the pose. Let me have a look. So Kathy, Linda, are you a little shorter? Can you scoot a little forward? If you now hold somewhere and now reach for that front chair bar. On the leg. Yeah, there you're getting there. In your home practice, maybe you could put a little strap on that bar. Yeah. All right. Enough Pashasana. Okay. Go ahead and stand up. Turn your chair around so that the back of the chair faces you. If you have the ability to have yourself pretty close to the wall, let's go ahead and do that. If you don't, then you're just doing the best you can without the help of the wall. Let's see how I've put my sticky mat close to the wall, and I'm putting my chair right there. Okay, stand in Tadasana. Oh, let me get this. I'll give you all a few minutes. Yeah, all right. Line up your bones. What's nice, I think, about both teaching in Zoom and practicing with my friends on Google Duo is that I see myself all the time, and I don't practice with a mirror. So I can see if I'm overworking in one area, which I tend to do, and that's this, and I don't want to do that, so I hyperextend my knees, and my calves will go back further than my knees. Instead, I roll those thighs and I press the thighs back more than the calves. Keep the ribs back. Stretch the arms at your sides. Be straight in your Tadasana. Uplifting in your Tadasana. After all that twist, you probably feel nice and long. You should feel nice and long in the side body. Okay, now just step your right leg forward and your left leg back. Turn your left leg back up 90 degrees. I'm sorry, 70 degrees. And turn your hips to face forward. Okay, so the pelvis here shouldn't be going down. We've worked on that a lot before. You have to push on that big toe, kind of like I'm pushing the mat more forward and like I'm almost pushing myself backwards. But really, it's just to stand up straight. Okay, then reach the arms up, and you'll be taking the wrist to the chair bar, and you're just going forward in Parsvottanasana. Do not let that back heel leave the floor. Pull the right thigh up into the hip socket, firm in the hip sockets. Look up towards your chair. Okay, if you've got that and you're doing well there, can you put your hands on the floor or two bricks? Keep the shoulders back, extend the trunk forward. Okay, and now inhale and come up. Let's stay with this side. This time, pull up everything but your heel. So it's nice here, I've got this wall. So I can turn to face forward, pull up that. So I'm off everything but my heel. So it really demands this right thigh pull up into its socket and this left thigh to come, the hamstring to come into the butt crease. All right, so now I'm going forward. Careful with the toes up. Now I'm going forward with the trunk. Keep pulling the trunk up. You feel how that hip has to work more? Pull those outer hips in toward each other. It's not about getting the head to the chin. It's about how much extension you can get in your trunk. And the firmness of the hips. Okay, now you can put the foot down and feel the evenness of the foot, inner and outer, ankle, inner and outer, calf, inner and outer, knee, inner and outer, thigh, inner and outer. Everything is parallel to each other. Good. Inhale and stand up. Turn around to the left. Wasn't too hard, right? Hopefully. Okay, here's what I do. This is my osteoporotic hip. So here's what I do to work on that hip and to try to level out the pelvis. So I bend the knee, tuck that buttock under, push that floor, then straighten the leg. It helped a little bit. I bend the knee, push the floor with the front foot, then straighten that leg. I have to strongly, this is the osteoporotic hip, so I have to pull up that hamstring to the buttock. This has to work. If this doesn't work, all it does is make my groins work, the opposite opposing muscle work, and my groins get tighter instead of this getting tighter. This is the biggest muscle we have. We have to use it. Oh, I forgot my chair. So, I should do it this way now. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, find your chair. Heel the hand on the chair, extend your trunk forward. Look forward. Lengthen the trunk forward. Keep the hips pinned in toward each other. Okay, if you've succeeded there, you can either put your hands on some bricks or the floor. Go forward. So the tendency will be to have a hump here in the back just to get the hands down. So, I'd rather have you be up on something, right? Bricks to move that spine in. Okay, now inhale and come up. Lift your heel. Look at the parallelness of the foot, the ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh. Stand up nice and tall. Now exhale, fold forward. Feel that thigh pulling up into the hip socket. Keep that back heel down at all costs. Then if you feel that evenness everywhere, place the foot down, go forward with the trunk. And inhale and stand up. Okay, running out of time as always. I want to get all this twist would be a shame if we didn't do Parivrtta Trikonasana. So we'll work on Parivrtta Trikonasana. We're going to face the wall, have your strap nearby, and we're not going to use the strap the first time, go around, but the second time we will, and have your block. I'll give you 10, 15 seconds to get there. We can do this together. I'll be your mirror image. So I'm pretty close to the wall. You will be turning towards your right. A little bit like we just did Parivrtta. Remember how I had push on that front foot? You could bend that back leg to lift up that pelvis. Okay, and now you're taking Parsvottanasana. You can put the block on the inside of the foot to start. That is absolutely fine. Okay, pull up that thigh bone to the hip socket. Okay, now start to turn. And if it's easy, then you'll want to put the block on the outside of the foot and turn your back towards the wall. Push on that brick and turn your back to the wall. Don't give anything in the legs or the hips. This, you should be able to set a cup of tea right here on the sacrum. Turn from the waist, as you did in all the chair seated poses that we did today. Turn. Try to get some of your shoulder blades on the wall. Then you can reach that top arm up, run across the collarbones. Extend the head forward in front of you. And then release, turn back to Parsvottanasana. Inhale, come up, face the wall. Start to turn towards your left. Parsvottanasana. Exhale, bend forward. Put the brick on the inside at first. Pull that outer thigh up into the hip socket. Pin the hips, you know, like there's a skewer here, and it's pinning you all the way to the wall. Then start to turn the back body towards the wall. Don't let your, it would be your right hip, don't let your right hip go down the wall anymore. Don't let your back heel come up. Turn, squeeze the hips toward each other and turn your chest. Open those ribs. Stay and let me see. How are we doing? So Mike, it looks like you're just doing triangle pose and not revolve triangle pose. So did you face the wall and turn? Yeah, now turn the other way. Yeah, you can do it that way as well. Nice, head back. Kathy, lift up your back leg hip. That would be your left. Good. Okay. All right. Everybody come up. Let me show. This is a little fussy, but I think you'll love it after you do it. So see, Mike, I'm facing the wall. Okay, you'll be turning. Well, in order to show you, well, no, I guess in order to show you, I'll just do the same side you're gonna do. So I'm gonna ask you to turn to your right. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to put this strap over yourself. Okay, now, do you see how much I've got this back knee bent? I want the strap, if I were to show you without doing anything, the strap is about, if it was mid-thigh, it would be here. So it's just 4 or 5 inches from the hip crease. So remember, I was like this, then I turned, and I want you to bend that back leg a lot, and then crank down on that strap unbelievably tight. Unbelievably tight. Then straighten the leg. Oh, hallelujah. Okay, now the hips can't go anywhere. They're compact. Okay, now I'm turning my back towards the wall. My hand can be on a brick. See how much more you get out of the pose this way. It will not let that back hip go anywhere. Turn, 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 turn. Try to get the top shoulder blade to the wall. And trust me when I say the strap has to be really, really tight. In fact, your skin should be bulging. That's why it's got to be on the thigh, pardon to say, you know, the fattiness of our thighs. Looks a little too high, Kathy, it looks a little too high, Mike. The strap looks a little bit too high. Has to be on the bulk of your thigh. That looks almost too low, Chaya. Too low for you. Like if I was standing, it was about here. Yeah. Okay, did you turn? Uh-huh. Yeah, the strap looks a little loose, Mike. You have to really crank on it. Crank, crank, crank. Yeah, Julie, you can use a chair, absolutely. You can put your whole front elbow. So your left elbow could be on the chair if you'd like. We've done that before when we worked on this pose. Nice, Chaya. Sopo. Do you get what the strap can help you with? I mean, Marsha, for me, it's heavenly on my osteoporotic hip. All right, inhale, come up. You might have to loosen it a little bit. If you loosen it, you know, you have to bend that back leg and then crank on it. Crank tight. Then straighten that back leg. Then turn. Oh my gosh. Drive that femur into the socket on that front thigh. You can't help it. Feel how those, really both your thigh bones are further driven into their sockets. All right, now it looks great, Kathy Lindauer. Now turn at your waist more. Your hips are great, now turn at your waist. Get some of the shoulder blades on the wall. Sopo, don't let your wall hip drop. Don't let your wall hip drop. Mike, again, you went to regular triangle. We're doing revolved. So face the wall. Come up, face the wall. Separate the legs. Okay, now turn towards your left. Put the right hand down near the inside of the foot. Okay. Is your back hip at the wall? Yeah. Yeah. Plug your hips into the wall there. Oh, nice. Okay, now watch that top shoulder that it doesn't creep up into your neck. Chin away from your chest. Chin away from your chest. That's it, Julia. Exactly. It should be absolutely taut. That's why it's good to bend that back knee and then make it tight. Okay, guys. Inhale, come up. All right, let's do, since we have that nice wall, or some of us do that nice Prasarita Padottanasana with the different hand positions that Ann did last week. I do that all the time in my home practice. So I'm slightly away from the wall. I bend forward. Then I walk my heels back to the wall, maybe an inch away from the wall, and I press my thighs back more than my calves. My thighs back more than my calves. First, I just want to go forward with the arms. I'll wait till everybody gets here and then I'll walk you through it. Can you get your thighs to touch the wall before your calves? Or can you get your thighs to touch the imaginary wall if you don't have a wall? Thighs back faster, quicker, more energetically than the calves. And arms are completely forward. Reach forward. And like the downward dog, Prasarita Padottanasana. Okay, now concave, so come up in the concave. Now turn your hands out 90. Lengthen the trunk forward. Pull those upper arms slightly back. Shoulders slightly back as the upper arms engage and move slightly, elbows away from each other. Elbows away from each other. Okay, now spin your hands around so that the heel of the hand faces the camera. Thumbs out. They should feel good. Okay, last one is to go all the way down. Bring the head down where you can, grab your ankles. Press the thighs back. If you pull with your hands onto those outer feet, make sure you're not lifting your outer foot bone. The outer foot bone must resist. Do straighten your knees though, Kathy. Press the thighs back. Yeah, support for the head is fine. Okay. All right. Come up. Those of you who practice Shirshasana may do Shirshasana. If you don't practice Shirshasana, you're doing Shirshasana prep or repeating what we just did, Prasarita Padottanasana. Mike, what did you do last week? Let's see. You're just going to repeat Prasarita. Okay, take the legs a little bit wider. Yep. Just get used to that head being in that vertically down position. All right, those of you in trying Shirshasana, whether it's, with the wall or not. Make your interlock. Press those forearms down. Place your head. Hold the back of your head in your hands. Press the forearms down, walk up, and then go up. See how long you feel in that side body. Can you feel any of the quietness of the groins joined you in this pose? Reach up through the inner leg, big toes. Hips compact. I'm going to come down to have a look at some of you. Keep pressing the forearms, keep lifting the shoulders. Yes, the legs must work. Roll the thighs a little bit more, Sopo. Roll the front thighs in a little bit more. Move your sternum, Chaya, up toward your pubic plate. Yeah. Wow, what a difference. Good.
Mike, if you come down, just look at Chaya's screen for a moment. And that maybe when you progress, you can start working on that. Not today, but just have a look at Chaya's screen. I told her to lift her sternal notch to her pubis. And boy, up she went more. Okay. All right, come down in control, everyone. And release your head or neck in whatever you do that makes your head or neck happy after Shirshasana. This is mine in case I haven't showed, or some of you haven't been here when I showed, but I usually take the second height of my foam brick and my chin forward. I do this for a little bit, and that really moves C7 in. Feels really good. And then sometimes I do this. And you can actually pull the hands apart, but don't take them apart. Okay, so I'm going to assume here that not everybody has 2 bolsters. So I know everybody has at least one bolster and or a stack of blankets that they could create a bolster with. So let me show with one bolster and the stack of blankets. The pose is Setu Bandha Sarvabhasana, but done a little bit more restoratively. So you see that's okay. Where this is slightly higher, this is just a little bit lower. So if you don't have that, you make, if you don't have that many blankets, you make, one stack of blankets, and then you take a block for your feet. Have your strap. Sit on your bolster. Oh, let me change them. What have you got, Mike? You know what you could do, Mike? If you take your, oh, that is a bolster. Great. That looks somewhat familiar. Okay. You'll straddle your second height, or if you only have a block here, the block is going to be like in this area for your feet. So my buttocks are on, just put your whole self on the bolster. Then, go ahead and put your strap on about mid-thigh. Not too tight, but hip distance, a little less than hip distance. Okay, now I'm going to hold on to the edges of my sticky mat, and remember it's Setu Bandha. So I'm going to slide. I'm going to keep that tucking the shoulders under, and I'm going to slide until my head, neck, and shoulders are all on the same height. And my shoulder blades are at the bottom of the bolster. So there I am. So I keep tucking those shoulders, and then I stretch the legs out along that second height. If you only have a block, then you just have the legs, the heels up on a block, or 2 blocks. So here I have the edges of the sticky mat, and I tuck and roll some more. So it's not that you're doing nothing. You're tucking and rolling, and you stay with that tucking and rolling circularization here of this upper chest. So here the bottom vayu is very open, the apana vayu, And then the top one, oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name right now. The top one is equally open. Let's see how you're doing. Okay, keep extending the legs. Stretch the legs away from the trunk. Keep tucking the shoulders under. That looks really good, everybody, yeah. So you're feeling the whole body nice and open. And the initiation of the breath is from that lower pelvic apana vayu all the way up to the chest. Start to just become aware of your breath. You don't have to change it, just be aware of it. How it travels from the pelvic region all the way up to the throat. Don't change it, just be aware. Follow your breath every step of the way. Keep on breathing, keep on just being aware of your breath. The 5 vayus. The last one is the prana vayu, and it's the heart and the chest. I'm like, why can't I think of the name of it? It's because it's so easy, prana vayu. So we go from apana vayu, prana vayu, it's the heart and the chest. There's even udana, which is the throat. But really, I want you to be aware of how it's traveling from the apana, which is the pelvic area, the area really responsible for so much stuff in our body, digestive system, all that, especially for women, very important, all the way up to the apana, prana vayu, which is the heart and chest. All right. So you're up on that, and now you can continue to slide towards the floor more until your buttocks are on the floor. So keep sliding, hopefully there's nothing in your way. Okay, and then take your strap off. And can you bring your legs into swastikasana? So I'm going to cross with my unfavored cross and just put my swastikasana legs on that bolster. Reach your arms out to the side. Groins released, relaxed. And just keep your awareness on your breath. Change the cross of your legs. Don't hold anything in the legs, just let them go. Let this Apana Vayu area be nice and soft. And uncross, you can use your hands to bring the legs in. Roll to your right side. We always roll to the right side to give space to the heart. We don't want to put pressure on the heart. And then use that left hand and right hand. Come up. Okay, for a little bit of Ujjayi, I'd like for you to take a wide, flat support for your Shavasana. So here I'm just taking the support. There's one, actually, let's go this way. There's one. There's two. And these are thin. So if you have the Mexican blankets, you can maybe just use two wide, flat support. And then I've got one for my head. So watch where I put myself here. This is the bottom rib, sometimes called the floating rib. That is going to go on the end of, the bottom of my blanket. My head's just a little bit higher. I take the hands to my C7 and I elongate the back of the neck towards the crown of the head. Take my glasses off. Then I can hold the edges of the sticky mat, tuck the shoulders a little bit more, and then reach one leg out and the other. Make sure that the lower back moves away from the waist. Okay, then on purpose, turn your thumbs towards the floor. See how I'm doing that? Thumbs towards the floor, and then let go. So that helps get this Pranavayu more space. Okay, so I'll just give you, a minute or two here in an ever so brief Shavasana, and then we'll just try a little bit of long, slow, smooth, soft Ujjayi inhalation and Ujjayi exhalation. Make any adjustments if you're not comfortable. Especially relax your face. In fact, you can crunch up your face if you like and then let go. Let your tongue release towards the bottom palate. You're not forcing it towards the bottom, you're just letting it go. It'll probably fall somewhere towards the bottom of your front teeth. Your lips are naturally and slightly parted. Abdomen soft. Let go everywhere. Be with yourself, not somewhere else. So if the purpose of pranayama is to make our respiratory system function at its optimum, that is the purpose, okay? So pranayama improves our circulatory system, without which the processes of digestion and elimination definitely tend to suffer. Toxins tend to accumulate, diseases spread through the body, and ill health becomes pretty much, you know, the norm. We don't want that. So remember when I said way back in the class today that one of Guruji's quotes that I remember is, sometimes we have to close a part of the body to feel another one open. So here, before we get to this Ujjayi, can you feel your shoulder blades just gently? There's not a whole lot of work here because you've got support, but to gently feel your shoulder blades coming into your body, closing a little bit more, so that it's almost like the breath is, or sorry, the ribs are like a gate for your breath to come through. So when you bring those shoulder blades into your back, do you not feel your front ribs kind of open a little bit more? So this is the idea. You'll feel when we start our pranayama, you're not doing it yet, but when we start our pranayama, when you reach your fullness and you feel a little bit of those shoulder blades move deeper into your back, I want you to think about lifting the sternum to recharge your lungs, and then you'll slowly release for that Ujjayi breath. So this idea that there's the rib cage is like a gateway for your breath, and then the ribs will close behind your breath. Abby, in our workshop in May, I guess that was, she really urged us to take good care of ourselves and to really, if we didn't have a pranayama practice, to start one. So I urge you, as this a little bit today, I urge you to do even a 5 or 10 minute pranayama practice is advisable. All right, so you're relaxed everywhere. You feel a supreme connection to your breath, an awareness of your breath everywhere in the body. You'll take a slow, soft Ujjayi inhalation. You'll fill your container from the bottom up, and you know the ribs are is the gateway. Feel the ribs open to receive that breath. Inhale completely. When you reach your fullness, lift your sternum ever so slightly, recharge your lungs, and then slowly release your breath. I know my words may not match your breath, so you know you can do this on your own, especially if you have a practice already. Remember that the ribs close behind the breath. So, you know, if you feel somewhat of an artificial movement of the ribs, you're doing too much. How's that? Nothing forceful, but think of the ribs as opening to receive that breath. Shoulder blades just lifted up and in, and then at the end of when you're just feel absolutely full, lift your sternum up a little bit without feeling any tightness or closedness in your throat. And then slowly release the breath. Keep watching your breath. Be that ever constant, vigilant observer of your own breath. When you get to your, on the inhalation, when you get to you start at the pelvis, right? So when you get to your navel, you might feel a slightly pulling back of the navel area. of your, the stomach organs, ever so softly. They say that Ujjayi is for our nerves. It's a nervine breath. Viloma, which we're not going to get to today, I'm sorry, but Viloma is energy giving. So here I'm kind of giving you this one, for your nerves. We have so much stuff going on in this country today. It's good to focus on our nerves. So do 1 or 2 more Ujjayi complete inhalations. When you get to the navel, which is kind of like the second part of that Ujjayi inhalation, the navel pulls slightly back. The rib cage opens, receives the breath. When at the top of your fullness, lift the sternum towards the chest, top of the chest, rib cage, top of the chest, the collarbones. And then slowly release the breath. Okay, after you've finished your last complete Ujjayi inhalation and exhalation, just stay up on that support and just let go completely everywhere. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Fold up gently 1 by 1. Bring your hands in towards your navel or chest or somewhere in between. And then gently fold the knees up 1 at a time. Roll gently towards your right side. Head on the blanket or the crook of your arm. Remember, the head is the last thing that comes up. Use your left hand to push the floor. And then the right hand helps. And then sit up straight and tall. And then when you're mostly upright, then you can open your eyes. Another quote I forgot that I wanted to share with you is something that Guruji said early on too. He said, our shoulders and our upper back and our neck tend to absorb a brooding mind. So that was my focus today, on getting all of this nice and open so it doesn't absorb what's going on in our head. Bring your hands to your heart. As you bow down in gratitude for the community around us, gratitude for the practice and all the teachers who come before us to give us the practice of Iyengar yoga. Bow your heads down. Namaste, guys. Thank you. Thanks for coming back.